Hey everyone, this is the mind of Lilith, and thank you for joining me for this episode of Think Peace. So last week was Valentine's Day, and I remember years ago when an ex of mine would text me on Valentine's Day begging for a reconciliation, and he would apologize for everything that he had done in the relationship. He would beg for a second chance, and he would promise that he'd change. So this is after we had broken up, which means that he had done some disrespectful things during the relationship, which caused the breakup. But I remember when I was much younger, I actually believed what men would tell me, regardless of what they were showing me. So when I first started watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, I could recall a lot of women in the audience wondering why Melody stayed with Martell after he got caught cheating over and over again. And some of these women would say, oh, she's using him for the show. She doesn't really love him like that, because they couldn't understand why a woman who's as beautiful as Melody, why she would stay with someone like Martell after he blatantly disrespected her time and time again. And even though I'm not married, I knew what Melody was going through, because manipulative men like Martell, they use your feelings for them against you. And this is also why Ariane stuck with Martell for over 7 years with no indications of commitment or respect on his end. So I think that narcissists have a very successful tactic that they use that makes it very difficult for their wives and their partners to leave them, or their husbands even, if you're dealing with a female narcissist. Derek Jackson used this tool with his wife when she first left him, only for him to dog her out again less than a year later, okay? So the secret weapon that narcissists use against their partners is, you may not agree with me, but I think the secret weapon is honesty, or better yet, weaponized honesty. Narcissists and manipulative men use weaponized honesty against their partners to disarm them, to convey remorse and sincerity. But there's a difference between honesty and sincerity. So when you finally leave the narcissist for good, right? Or what you think is for good, they pull out the trump card, which is their insurance policy. So when Melody left Martell in season 1, she was like, you're going to sleep in this part of the house, I'm going to sleep in that part of the house because you don't respect me, and so on and so forth. What did he do while he was laying in the hospital waiting for surgery? He started to confess his sins to Melody. He expressed remorse, and he took accountability for his actions by identifying how he disrespected and betrayed Melody, and he acknowledged that he was wrong for doing it. He also pretended to empathize with her by acting like he was hurt because she was hurt. So after you leave, some narcissists will tell you everything they did wrong, the deception, the manipulation, the cheating, the abuse, they tell it all. And a lot of us feel vindicated because the entire time the narcissists gaslit us and acted like they didn't know what they were doing, or it was our fault they did what they did, or they acted like they didn't do anything at all. So when they finally tell the truth and they're honest about how they've contributed to the end of the relationship, a lot of us are caught off guard and we're taken aback because during the relationship, they never took accountability for anything, right? So this is a stark contrast to the way they were treating you. So you're caught off guard. And this is how the narcissist starts to break your walls down, because at this point, we think that they've actually changed because they're changing their behavior in a sense that they're finally admitting what they've done wrong when they refused to do so when they were with you. So we think they've changed and now they deserve another chance because they're sorry, right? And not only does the narcissist apologize, they do so emphatically and with the humility that you didn't see when they were gaslighting you the way Martell did to Melody. So what's the difference between honesty and sincerity? To me, honesty is telling the truth objectively, regardless of how you feel about the facts and how bad it makes you look. You say what it is because that's what actually happened. You tell the truth. But to me, sincerity is believing that you are wrong for what you've done. You're actually believing what you're saying, right? And that's where women get confused. People think that because someone is being honest with you about their wrongdoing, it means that they believe that they were actually wrong in how they treated you. So if you guys remember, okay, after Martell apologized to Melody profusely for what he did during their relationship, he did it more than once on TV, and then she reconciled with him and then they broke up again because he didn't stop. Martell told Dr. Francis that he would not do anything differently. which means that when he was telling Melody the truth about what he had done wrong, right, in his fake apology, he wasn't doing so sincerely. He was using weaponized honesty to convey contrition when it was just another tool to manipulate Melody. So here's what the narcissist or emotionally manipulative person does to you when you're ready to leave. 1, they apologize and express remorse about what they've done. Number 2, they express empathy about your struggle and how much they've hurt you. Number 3, they tell you that they share your pain that they've caused because they don't like seeing you hurt. Number 4, they tell you that they understand why you shouldn't get back with them and that they don't deserve you, but at the same time, they're begging you for another chance. Okay? That is a complete mind F-U-C-K, right? Number 5, they admit that they're flawed and they're messed up, but they don't really believe this. They're just saying this because, it sounds good at the time and they need you to believe that they're sorry. So they'll tell you that they're wrong and they're messed up, right? But in actuality, blame you for what they've done. Number 6, they promise to change if you give them one more chance. Number 7, they act like their mental health or their quality of life has deteriorated since you left them. And number 8, they will compare you to the other women they cheated on you with or left you for, and they'll insult her, and they'll tell you that you're a better match for him than the other girl is, which is an ego boost for many broken women. This is how Martell treated Melody and Ariane. And in all honesty, women are naturally very competitive. I'm not saying all women are competitive, but women are naturally competitive. So a lot of us who are broken, we overtly or covertly or unconsciously or consciously, we compare ourselves to other women. Like, what does she have that I don't have? Why did he cheat on me with her? She ain't all that. We compare ourselves to other women, and men use that as a tool to keep us tethered to these toxic, dysfunctional relationships. So after they leave you and they discard you and treat you like crap, they'll come back to you apologizing by insulting the woman they weaponized against you in the first place. Okay? And again, that's an ego boost for women who are broken and insecure. So if they are successful in getting you to reconcile with him, he will seal the deal by love bombing you for a few weeks again, or even a few months, until he's sure the coast is clear and you're vulnerable with him and you feel safe with him, and then you start to open up to him again. And unfortunately, the pattern repeats itself again. So we go from love bombing to now the gaslighting and manipulation, and you're back in a toxic cycle because you believed him and you thought he would change, when in actuality, he had no intention of doing so, no matter how fervently he apologized to you. Okay? So a lot of us are tricked into thinking that because someone can identify what they've done wrong, it means that they actually believe they did the wrong thing. They could still low-key be blaming you for their actions, right? In season 2, after Melody left Martell and they were at the Fletcher's house, Martell said to Melody, if you were doing what you were supposed to do at my house, then I wouldn't be starting over. Now, mind you, he said this after he begged Melody for forgiveness several times before the show started and the end of season 1, right? Which means he was lying to Melody every single time he told her why she should leave him, why she doesn't deserve him, what he did wrong. He didn't actually believe that. He just knew that she needed to feel vindicated in a sense because, nobody wants to suffer for no reason. Nobody wants to suffer in darkness and ignorance, right? And a lot of times, women just want their pain to be acknowledged and to feel vindicated. Like we're not struggling in the dark for nothing, okay? So when the person that causes you pain says, yes, I see you, I see you're hurting, and I see that I'm the cause of your pain, a lot of women feel validated and affirmed, which is how the narcissist gets in their good graces with no intention of changing their bad behavior. This is why it is so easy to get stuck in these toxic relationships with master manipulators. Melody is angry with Martell. She was angry with him, right? Not just because of the cheating and the disrespect. It was also because he kept lying to her about the truth. He was using the truth against her. So he was manipulating her emotionally, telling her things that he knew she wanted to hear just to keep her anchored to a relationship, knowing that he had no intention of changing. So you're using my feelings for you against me. You know I want to give you another chance. You know I still love you. So you're going to tell me whatever you think I need to hear to get back into my good graces with no intention of changing your behavior at all. As a matter of fact, you're going to double down and say that I have no right to not trust you. I have no right to still be shell-shocked and wary of this relationship. The narcissist will start to blame you for your paranoia about distrusting them, and then using your paranoia to justify repeating the same pattern of abuse again, right? So the only reason why I kept cheating is because you didn't trust me. You kept asking me questions. You didn't believe me, right? So if you're going to do that, I might as well cheat anyway. That is how many narcissists justify breaking your trust again. They blame you for not trusting them for the way that they treated you, even though they told you that they knew why you didn't trust them, right? They knew why you were hurt, right? They took responsibility, so-called responsibility, by identifying the cause of the problem and saying, it is my fault, this is what I did to you. But at the same time, they don't know why you don't trust them. They don't know why you're paranoid. They don't know why you're not smiling at them the way you used to. You're not as welcoming or trusting of them as you used to be, because they never really meant it in the first place. And to be quite honest, if a person is truly sorry for what they've done, they would feel ashamed of even coming to you for a second chance. They wouldn't even want to do that. Like, I don't even deserve another chance. Let me leave her alone. But that's not how narcissists feel. They'll tell you that while begging you for another chance, because they don't respect your boundaries or your space, right? So a lot of narcissists, what they'll say is, I'm sorry for what I've done, and I know why you are feeling this way towards me, and if you give me another chance, I won't do it again, right? Only to get frustrated when, after you reconcile with them, you still don't trust them. They want you to act like nothing ever happened, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to act like all the disrespect and the cheating and abuse never happened. So they want you to act like it's a brand new relationship and you're starting from day one, or you're starting from scratch. And this may work the first couple of times, right? This may work the first 2 times you break up, or 3 times, whatever. But after the 15th time or the 3rd time, hopefully you see that there's a pattern of behavior, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change. The only thing that's going to change is the type of offenses that they commit against you, and how long it takes for you to recover from the betrayal and the abuse, and how hard they're going to go when they try to reconcile with you again. So each time they betray you and disrespect you, the love bombing gets more and more intense, right? So instead of giving you flowers and candy for Valentine's Day, what they'll do is they'll take you on a trip, or they'll buy you some expensive jewelry or something. They'll up the ante every single time they have broken your trust, because again, they need you to believe that they've actually changed. So if I'm spending more money on her, that means that my feelings for her are amplified. They're greater. They're increased. Which in a lot of women's minds means that they're more significant to the narcissist. And it's not true. It's not. The narcissist needs to up the ante, because the last 15 times they apologize, they betrayed you again, and you don't trust them anymore. So they have to make more grandiose gestures of love and remorse to make you believe, right, that they've actually changed when they have not. So yeah, do not confuse honesty with sincerity, or weaponize honesty with sincerity. The narcissist always knows what they're doing wrong. That's the name of the game. Psychological manipulation and abuse to break you down completely into nothing. They know what they're doing. It's methodical. It's systematic. Okay? So if you've already broken up with somebody 2 times for the same exact thing, please do not reconcile with them again. Please. Because if they really were sorry, they'd leave you alone, because they know that they're not going to change. And they don't want to change. They just want you to put up with their BS. That's all, right? And it's not always the case 100% of the time. Some men have issues that they try to work on. But for the most part, that is how it works. If a man treats you like crap and you keep forgiving him, he's going to think that it's a game. I'll dog her out for a couple months, get with somebody else because I want to do that anyway, break up with her, and then get back to you. And it's the same cycle of competitive nonsense. So not only are you competing against the other women that he's going to be using to justify disrespecting you, you're also going to be looking to him to heal you from the trauma that he's inflicted on you. So you want him to fix the problem. You want him to fix the damage that he's done, which makes it harder for you to leave him. Now, you want closure, you want peace, you want resolution. So you will be open to reconciliation because you want to make sense of it. Why did he treat me like this? right? Why did he use me? Why did he abuse me? Why did he cheat on me? Why did he hurt me? And the narcissist knows this, so they won't give you closure. What they will do is tell you everything they've done wrong, knowing that that's what actually happened. And you're like, oh my God, he sees me. He's changed. He really loves me. And that's a part of the game. That's all. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I look forward to reading your feedback. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will speak to you soon.